Welcome to General Structures 2 and Lateral Forces, Lesson 5, Example number 1. And it asks, what is the basic wind speed in Salt Lake City? And if you go back in this book, obviously all of this stuff is taken out, in the study guide that I have, obviously, is taken out of the UBC, which the IBC is somewhat similar, and it is a little bit different, but I will go ahead and do some videos on the IBC and the standard practices with IBC, but for right now, just keep in mind we're doing the UBC, which was phased out in 2000. This is just an old study guide, but it is still important to go through it to get an idea of what has been done in the past and to realize, hey, the wind didn't change, it was us who changed, and just a different code. So whether you think this is a better way to do it or you think the IBC is a better way to do it, I challenge you to take a look and decide for yourself. Do not just take what is given to you and eat it up. Anyways, Lesson 5, Example number 1. Let's go ahead. And if you go back, excuse me, in the study guide on page 122, you will see figure 16-1, minimum basic wind speeds in miles per hour. And the quick answer to this is to, you know where Utah is. Let's say it's right here. So there's Utah. You know Salt Lake City. You maybe don't know exactly where Salt Lake City is, but you know it's in the northern point. Let's just say right there. So you take a look at the chart, and you see that it comes something like that, and then something like that, and then all in the middle are these stripes. Not stripes, but hatching. So, and then if you go down and you see down here, if it looks like this, it says basic wind speed. And it says 70 mph. Alright. So, anywhere that you see this hatching, its basic wind speed is 70 mph, and you don't go any lower than that. And if you look around the map, you'll see, now this is going to be a horrible drawing. There's Utah. Okay, Minnesota. Hand. Well, that's a skinny glove. It comes up. So please don't get upset if I misrepresent your living situation. And we ran out of room for Florida. Come back, you have this. There you go. Alright, give or take, that is the country. And there's Utah, obviously not perfectly spaced. But if you take a look, so in the end, what was our question? I'm getting off track here. I'm going to answer the question first, and then I'll go into a little bit more explanation. I believe that the answer is 70 miles per hour. But we go back to the question. We're just going to justify that that was what our question was asking. It says, what is the basic wind speed in Salt Lake City? The basic wind speed is 70 miles per hour. So your answer is 70 miles per hour. All right, and if you look at this map, if you do not have the map, there are some of these, for instance, on the kind of the front range of Colorado, right there, and maybe up here a little bit, and right down over here, then you'll see a lot of it right here. And I'm guessing Chicago and Chicago area, a lot of these, the windy places, will have stuff right here. It's actually all of Michigan pretty much. And then maybe a little bit in the mountains right here and right there. Anyways, that's not important. But what these are special wind regions. So if you see a special wind region, then it needs to have, there are studies done, in other words, where this giant map won't get it done for you. You need to look at your special region and see what's going on. But in general, you'll have, let's do the East Coast for instance. You kind of see this line, and this line, and this line, give or take. Obviously they're not perfect, but you'll see that this is, what, 110. Then you come into 100. So you can see anything that's close to water, where the wind can pick up speed, is where you'll get higher wind speeds. So that's where it is. So if you wanted to do New York City, for instance, New York City is right on the border between 80 and 90. So you would end up saying, okay, well, if inside is 70, then the outside of 70 would be 80. So it would be around 90. I would go ahead and do it. It's close to 80, but it's actually in the 90 circle, New York City that is, Manhattan Island. And I would go ahead and do 90. Be conservative. Go with this 90 because let's say 90 is right here. And New York City is right there. Obviously not the best map in the world, but it's really close. I say 80. Yeah, it's really close to 80. Shoot. So this is actually 80. There's another one in here. That's right there. That's 90. So 90's on this side, 80's is closer to 80, but then again, it's outside the 80, so it's 90. But you can always go in. For instance, if here's their 70, then anything out that would be 80, outside that would be 80, and then outside that would be 90, and so on and so forth. All right, I'm going to call that one quits. Too much information. Hopefully you already passed on to the next video because this was not the best in the world, and you can see that. Worst comes to worst, take a look at your IBC map and take a look at this UBC map if you have it. If not, don't worry about it. Just take a look and you'll see in 2 seconds what it is. Not very complicated. I will see you on example number 2.